Hi, second graders. We are going to be doing the same exact thing today that we were doing yesterday. We're going to work more with telling time in 5-minute intervals, which means we're telling time when the minute hand, the longer hand, is pointed to one of the numbers on this clock face. Okay? But as you might have noticed, we're also going to start talking about the digital clock today. So this here is the digital clock, and this is something that we're probably much more used to seeing, and it's easier for us to tell time on. So before we get started, if you have a parent or a sibling or even just a stuffed animal or something that you can talk to during this video, that would be great, because I'm going to be asking you quite a few questions, and unfortunately I'm not going to be able to hear your answers, but I would like you to still call out the answers just as if you would if we were in the normal classroom. Okay, so my question to you today is, my first question is, what do you notice about these two clocks? This one right here is our digital clock. This one right here is what we call an analog clock, the one we're learning how to tell time on. What do you notice? Anything that you notice about these two clocks, go ahead and shout it out. Are you ready? If you need some more time, you can take some time to pause the video and give yourself some more time. But if not, we're going to move on. So I'm wondering, how do you say the time on each clock? How do you say the time on this clock? How would we say that? I know we all know how to say it because we talk about it when we sign out for the bathroom. We would say 8:25, right? Yeah, we would say 8:25. What do you think that the numbers on the left-hand side of the colon, these are the two colons, the dots, what does this number mean right here? What does our 8 stand for? Our 8 stands for the hour. Okay, that's telling us what number hour of the day we are in. Okay, that's like the same thing as what the shorthand on the clock points to. That's what that number on the left-hand side of the colon stands for. What about the number on the right-hand side of the colon, do you think? If the one on the left is hour, what is the one on the right? Think about on an analog clock. It's the minutes. Okay, so that also means it's been 25 minutes of hour 8. Okay, we're 25 minutes into hour number 8 of our day. Okay, so digital clocks can make reading the time so much more easier than on an analog clock because you don't have to count in steps to figure out the total number of minutes, okay? Like how we were doing yesterday where we would count by 5s around the clock. However, you could read this time as 8:25 and you could read this time as 8:25, right? The hour hand is pointing to the 8, and then let's count in our steps of 5 until we get to where the minute hand is pointing. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's like saying 8 hours and 25 minutes more. Okay, let's work on another one. This time we don't have the digital clock. What does this time say? All right, so I hope everyone shouted out an answer, but now I'm wondering, is there a different way to say this time? Can we say this time more than one way? Let's think about it. So the first thing we're going to do is look at where our hour hand is pointing, and it's not pointing directly on a number, but we see the last number it passed is the hour 8. So we are in hour number 8. That's how we would write it if we were writing it like a digital clock. And now let's take a look at our minute hand. Our minute hand is pointing to the 2. So we know how to do this. We start on the 1, and then we start counting by 5s. 5, 10. So it's 8 hours plus 10 minutes. 8 hours and 10 minutes. How would we say that time? We could say 8:10, like on a digital clock, or we could also say 10 past 8. 10 minutes past 8 o'clock. Let's do one more. Okay, so, that's not a time. You're going to help me figure out how to plug in that time for that analog clock. Let's look at the analog clock. What time does this say? All right, were you able to shout it out? Let's see. We have to be extra careful when we're looking because we need to see where that hour hand last passed. It's still the 8. It's really close to the 8 this time, but we see that it's still past the 8 last. And then let's take a look at our minute hand. Can we count by 5s? Sure we can. Look, 5. We're done. So let's fill out this digital clock. We know this number is for the hours or minutes. Call it right out. Hours. So it's 8. And now, how would I write 8:05? Or 5 past 8. How would I do that on a digital clock? Would it look like this? No, that says 8:50, right? No, we have to do it like this. Whoops. 8:05 would look just like this, okay? 8 and then a 5. That 0 needs to be before the 5, though. It's kind of like when we're writing our 3-digit numbers, there's not a number in the tens place, okay? So I know it might seem weird that we call this 8:05 and not 8:05, but that's actually the right way to say it. If it were up to me, I would probably rather call it 8:05, but I didn't make the rules. So 8:05 or 5 minutes past 8.